10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is August 28th, and we're going to start with this kind of sad news actually, well, very sad news. So here we have Ramana, who was working the Huff contract that we actually covered on yesterday's Rocket Fuel. So the Huff contract was set up in the Huff is just a programming language that you can use with Ethereum that is different from Solidity basically. And the reason why some people use it is because it is a bit more gas efficient. But Ramana has this had this Huff contract that was set up where there was some RETH in there, and people could use the RETH to make a flash loan to kind of just make Rocket Arb a little bit better. So around 23 hours ago, not long after I finished recording the episode actually, Ramana said that I think someone hacked my Huff contract. So I was the first to respond. I said, how is that the one where you deposited your own ETH, eyes? And he responded by saying, yeah, I think I lost it. Damn. I said, oh duck, how? And then he says, I don't know, I think they found a way to exploit the ARB function somehow. And Jasper says, F man, that's awful. I said, it's a dark forest out there, I'm so sorry. And people were kind of quick to say that they're sorry, but that it was just really horrible. By that point, the ETH was already gone. Ramana says that I think they must have somehow convinced 1inch that the RETH price was really small, so it gave back way less wrapped ETH than they should have. But my contract was supposed to check the balance after, so not sure how they got around that. And then I think at that point they were just trying to figure out what was going on, how everything was working, and really not quite fully understanding what had happened. And then after tracking it for about an hour, it seemed like what the person did was, after draining the contract, they sent some of the ETH to Binance, some of the other ETH to OKX as a way of trying to get it out, I guess, or kind of obfuscating the trail. So Ramana then had a request saying if anyone has the wherewithal to help with tracking down the hacker to their off-ramp or exchanges, or figuring out if they can be pursued legally, I would really appreciate this. I mean, it's easier to see the funds go on-chain to exchanges. There's no obvious privacy protection, but I don't know any of the legal stuff, and I feel a bit overwhelmed by it. And Sneaky said, so disappointing to see a good deed getting punished like this. And Owl.eth here was kind of poking around the contract as well, and trying to figure out what was going on with it. And it turns out that there was, let's just read what's here on the screen. It turns out that there was, let's go back to that next. So Sneaky, a while later, kind of asked if there's a post-mortem, and Val replied by saying yes, that the issue has been fixed also. So if you go to GitHub, you can see that this issue there was changes made, and that this code here, 0x40 mload, was added, and some changes made. And over here there was some more checks for RETH balance that were added here as well. And there was a new line that was added over here, right there. So I don't speak code, so there was some discussion about it over here about what this actually means. And Sneaky says, what's the TLDR here? RETH balance wasn't initialized or stored in memory properly or something. And it turns out that there was it was not being stored in the memory properly, and it wasn't accessed properly when it was needed. And Sneaky says, was it comparing the balance to some bogus value? Waldorf said essentially. Sneaky says, damn, that's crazy and scary. And then Ramana came in and kind of gave some more information. This is 22 hours later, saying it was in memory, but it needed to go on the stack. Memory of it got overwritten without ever being used, as far as I can tell. And then he goes on to say it sucks that the comparison to the bogus value succeeded in all the legit orbs. Otherwise, that would have been a giveaway that something was wrong. And then Ramana said, and this is so sad, and he says, there's a funny thing, I was looking at this code again yesterday thinking this is really complicated and I shouldn't have put so much money in it, but I didn't go further with it at that time, and in fact I'd already been hacked by then, only realized I was hacked in the evening. And Sneaky says, damn. So basically, there was 32 RETH or 32 ETH of RETH in there. I think it was 34 ETH in total, something along those kind of lines. Which is really horrible, and yeah, it was absolutely terrible that this could happen. And Ramana's been around today and kind of being really stoic about it, really great about it, but I'm sure it really stings. I'm sure that would sting anyone. So here S-Jors87 says, can we set up some kind of crowdfunding for Ramana? And of course, people have done this recently, like myself, I've kind of spearheaded a few crowdfunding things. So I said POAP ? And then I said Shifrin, another fundraising POAP. Ramana, can we get a donation address too, please? And then Ramana replied by saying, that's very kind of you all. Not sure how I feel about it. There's absolutely no obligation for anyone to donate, but I appreciate generosity, of course. And the address would just be ramana.eth. RPL Maxi was kind enough to go and make this POAP and set it up as a POAP checkout. And the POAP, let me show you all, says, after Ramana's rocket orb Huff got hacked and Ramana's 32 ETH was stolen, the Rocket Pool community came together to help him. Since the community has profited tremendously from the Rocket Orb contract that Ramana has crafted, they felt like it was only fair to give back a little to ease Ramana's pain. All the checkout ETH will be donated to ramana.eth. So here the cost of the POAP is 0.05 ETH, which is around $82, which is the most expensive POAP that I've ever bought. But if you have a look at it, a whole bunch of people were really generous, and 21 people have already bought it, which is over an ETH going to Ramana, and a whole bunch of prominent people from the community and people I don't really recognize their names bought this. So that is really, really wonderful to see. It's really touching. So I'm hoping that there's a whole lot more people buying this POAP. Ramana has been an amazing part of the Rocket Pool community and the Rocket Fuel community, and of course I just met him last week as well. Jasper was making a joke about how his Twitter got banned right after meeting me, and now Ramana got hacked for so much ETH right after meeting me. So that definitely made me feel really good, Jasper. Thank you so much for sharing that coincidence there. Of course, I had nothing to do with either of those events. Sorry for laughing, it's not funny. But yeah, it's really sad. So I know it's a lot of ETH that it would cost to buy this POAP, but if you are at all interested in buying this POAP, definitely check out the checkout link that you can find in the description. It's a good deed. So yeah, follow the link in the description if you want to do that. Okay, speaking about Jasper and getting banned off Twitter, normally this would have been the lead story today, but Jasper here says, I'm back. A new profile pic for a new era, rugged by Musk, and it's time for a rebuild. Let's talk about the future of Jasper, Rocket Pool, Medicine, and Ethereum. Shout out to the RETH Finance homies who dealt with my rants while I was away. And here's Jasper's new screen name, Dr. Jasper _ETH, and it's still Jasper the Friendly Ghost.eth, of course. And look at this guy looking so handsome in his white coat ceremony. What a great guy. Amazing. Anyway, there's a little thread that Jasper started here as well about some of his ideas and thoughts that he's having, and Twitter, of course, kind of deleted the thread. It was supposed to be 23 tweets long, but it kind of got cancelled after 9 tweets, and last tweet, and then he said, Jesus, this site is shit. and yeah, it's horrible. So that's no fun for anyone. But what ended up happening because of that is Jasper made his Farcaster account and said, let's share Farcasters. So Jasper put his own in there and then tagged Nixo and me, and Ramana said, can I join as well? So people started sharing some Farcaster usernames. So if you are on Farcaster, please check out this thread. The link, of course, is in the description, and you can share your Warpcast URL. So my Warpcast URL, of course, is warpcast.com/whack, and then people were kind of like just sharing their URLs in here, and Ramana, of course, was able to get one set up, and this is what mine looks like now. So the top post is about my Gitcoin grant application, saying you'll get a POAP as a way of saying thanks. You still have a day to donate. It's less than a day now. It's about 12 hours to donate now. So if you want to donate to that, you are welcome to follow the link and do that. So yeah. But yeah, if you are interested in Farcaster, give me a follow, pop by that thread. There's a lot of really cool people in there who you can follow too. Okay, next we are following this new post that has come up on the Rocket Pool snapshot, and this is an appeal, the GMC decision on grant 032303 and fund rocket split RPIP 27. So here it says, a positive outcome in this vote will ratify RPIP 27. RPIP 27 instructs the GMC to approve rocket split grant and pay for it. Reasoning: the rocket split proposal was misunderstood during the GMC deliberations, is being appealed to the overall PDAO. Full content: if you're familiar with the draft version of the RPIP, note that the exchange rate was updated. Please read the full RPIP and the grant application here. You may read discussion around it in the forum thread, and then there's a link as well. So this vote, of course, needs 5,700 votes to reach quorum. It has currently received 1,600 votes. So we still need 4,000 more votes. At the moment, there's 65% of people are voting in favor of this, 35% of people are abstaining from this vote, and so far 0% of people have voted against this. I voted in favor of this. Ken abstained, he's on the GMC. Ramana abstained because he's the recipient of the reward, even though I think at this point there's no need for people to abstain for those reasons, but they did, which is fine. But then other people are voting as well now, so I hope that passes. Of course, I voted in favor of this. The comment that I left when I was voting, I said I support Ramana getting this grant, so I will let you all know how this goes. If we have any issues reaching quorum, I'll definitely highlight it all to you maybe next week or so, because of course the vote is open for 2 weeks. Excuse me, but at the moment it's looking promising that this will work out. Okay, next we have some really interesting news here from Hypothesis, saying Rocket Pool is the highest 30-day backward APR at 5.31% from Richard.network. Shout out to Coinbase for a close second at 5.28. So this is a really nice piece of news that has come out, and it's showing that compared to all the centralized or decentralized services, Rocket Pool has the best APR. And we all know, of course, that the reason for that is because we got the two big smoothing pool blocks. Recently we got the one that was like 300 plus ETH, I think, and the other one was 100 something ETH. So we've had two really good periods, like massive proposals coming through. So that's definitely pushed us up the ranks. I like Ethereum Bulls' comment here saying if only we could go backwards 30 days. I think that's really true, because leveraging into the hyperfolding on Aave at that point would have been a really profitable strategy, but of course no one knows that that was going to happen, so there was no way to kind of like prepare for that, right? So yeah, but anyway, with that in mind, I think hopefully Rocket Pool keeps up this rate. I think it's a little bit of an outlier because of those blocks, but I will not be unhappy if it continues, let's just say. Okay, next we had this screenshot from the Beacon Chain website where Butter says, "Hello friends, we just rolled out version 1.1.36.1 on mainnet, addressing the notification bug which was caused by attestations that were included in the orphan block. If you still run into this issue, just ping us at report your bugs here." So this is the issue that we talked about in yesterday's episode, where Beacon Chain was having some issues with getting missed attestation notifications, even though you weren't missing the attestations. This is now been fixed, so if you still have that issue, go and let Butter know, and he'll try to fix it. And finally, we're going to end the episode with a milestone that has been hit on the Ethereum main chain, where we see that a total staked amount has now surpassed 20% of ETH, of all ETH. 24.2 million ETH tokens represent 20.09% of the entire stack, of the entire market, and that is now staked on the Beacon chain, which is absolutely amazing. A lot of estimates seem to think that we will end up somewhere around double of where we are here, and I think that would be really exciting. I do have one last thing I want to share with you all, and I kind of missed the information, so let me see if I can go back and find it, because I think it's really important to get this for you all to see. Here we go. So there was this discussion that started. Bossy on Twitter reposted one of Jasper's comments saying, "No one here is bullish enough on rocket pool megapools next year. Instead of silos of collateral, all collateral will be linked, allowing for scaling a bond with size. 1 ETH mini pools are very likely coming." So we kind of talked about this on yesterday's show, but Maso did something really interesting here where he had some replies saying that the way that it might work. So he's saying 2 plus 3 or 1 plus 3.1 mini pools and node operators equals rocket pool wins. Doubly so if we can get some sort of novel bonding curve for greater scalability. Can't get here soon enough. So this idea, of course, is that if you have validators that start with 2 ETH of node operator ETH used with collateral of 3 ETH worth of RPL, 10% of borrowed ETH, or 1 ETH of node operator collateral with 3.1 ETH of RPL, then that alongside the scaling impact of node operators, node set with what the work that they're doing, saying that the rocket pool will win. Doubly so if you can get some sort of novel bonding curve. So that bonding curve is about let me see. So I said to Maso, "Tell me about these bonding curves." Maso says currently 1 mini pool equals 1 unit of collateral, 10 mini pools equals 10 units of collateral, etc. With mega pools and forced exits, the protocol can require less collateral from larger nodes because the collateral can be shared across mini pools. Kind of what I was saying in yesterday's show, that like for your first 10 mini pools, you could have them at LEB8s, and then for the next 10 you could have them at LEB4, the next 10 after that you can have them at LEB2, and the next 10 after that you can have LEB1s or something like that, or multiples of that. Maso goes on to explain, some people will hate it because it brings disproportionate capital efficiency, read profit, to larger node operators, but it's also a critical part of what will help rocket pools scale and compete. And then Maso goes on to say, for the math nerds, imagine, and I don't know how to even read this, saying like 0 bracket n close bracket is current versus 0 bracket log of n close bracket future. And then Patches starts asking questions about math nerds, which Patches says, "Don't ask me what the shape of the yield curve has for RPL rewards given the constant inflation, volume staked effectively." And Maso says, "Yeah, very much to be determined, needs modeling and DAO socialization." Jasper, who has someone looking at modeling, I think, would assume this future state, but whatever, are complex because they have multiple collateral types and different constraints, etc. And Jasper says, "Yep, I have someone he has someone looking at it and then working with multiple curves to account for different levels of yield loss to theoretical attacks." So this is a really exciting ideas that are coming forward from the community, like Jasper, Marcy, and others, and it really seems like this will like help push Rocket Pool up a whole bunch of levels, which is really exciting to see, of course. So I'm going to finish the episode on that point there. I hope you have all enjoyed watching today's Rocket Fuel. Please go and buy Ramana's POAP if you have some ETH to spare. Also, please donate to my Gitcoin grant. I think there are only let me have a look. There's only around 12 hours left from the point of recording this. Let me see. So $791 from 111 contributors. There's 14 hours to go from the time I'm recording this. So please go and check that out. Like even giving $1 or $2 like really helps, because it really helps because it's quadratically matched. So the more smaller payments I get, the more beneficial it is going forward. So if you have $1 or $2 to spare, every one counts. So thank you so much for supporting Ramana, for supporting me, for supporting the Rocket Pool and Rocket Fuel communities. So thank you everyone, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.